I called Donald Trump a wannabe dictator. It's because he is. It's because he is. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. Because we have to ferociously push back on this. The thing that bothers a teacher more than anything is to watch a bully.
Is there something going on that we're missing?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, whose balls is he hiding in his cheeks?
Yeah.
That's the first question I want to know. And I don't love the way he says, fierce.
Yeah.
Tim Walz's carefully polished image just went up in flames, and the one holding the match is Tyrus. This isn't some mild jab or offhanded remark. No, this is Tyrus going full scorched earth, tearing into Walz's past like he's prying open a vault that was never meant to see daylight. And what spills out isn't clean or respectable. It's chaotic, messy, and downright embarrassing. Tyrus doesn't roast with subtlety. He demolishes with blunt force. Ripping away the cardigan and smile act Walz has sold to voters. Once Tyrus lets loose, Walz doesn't just look vulnerable. He looks exposed, cornered, and stripped of the very persona he's been hiding behind for years.
It's because he is. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. Because we have to ferociously push back on this. The thing that bothers a teacher more than anything is to watch a bully, to watch this bully and to stop it. And when it's a child, you talk to them and you tell them why bullying's wrong. But when it's adult like Donald Trump, you bully the out of him back. This is a weak, cruel man that takes it out and...
Tyrus didn't just wake up, sip his coffee, and casually toss Tim Walz's name into the fire. He saw the endless headlines, the carefully scripted political theater, and decided enough is enough. And when Tyrus decides to go off, it doesn't come across like a quiet critique. It erupts like a WWE promo. The kind with chaos, fireworks, and the kind of smackdown that leaves the entire stage shaking. Walz wasn't just called out. He was body slammed through the political coffee table, and the audience felt every splinter.
Masculinity is deeply part of it. That's one of the, I think it goes, and you can look at the reasons why we've had this sort of dialectic over the Me Too movement.
How do you fight it?
This notion
I think I could kick most of their
What he's mad about is his own fault. He's mad about the image that was portrayed of him as the hunter. And who did that? You did that. We just laughed about it because the one thing you can't do is you can't front. You can't floss. Those are two key words when it comes to manhood. You can't.
If you're enjoying this takedown, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon. Because what happens next is where Tyrus really starts cooking. He zeroes in on Walz, the so-called relatable dad turned governor. And suddenly the polished image begins to crack. It's not a chip or a dent. It's a Walmart parking lot full of potholes. The very persona that made Walz seem harmless and approachable starts looking hollow, like a facade you can poke straight through. And Tyrus makes sure nobody misses the cracks.
Yeah. A teacher snatches the bully's ass up. Yeah. Come sit with me. That's what I know. Someone's bullying. Oh, you can sit with me for a while. And then I would lean on him. I'd bully him back. He's not a teacher. He's not a politician. He's a creepy guy who can't remember his speeches. I don't know what the hell was in the water in that White House, or was everyone on the same bad cocaine? But Kamala can't speak. He can't speak. Biden was so high he couldn't remember anything. Like, this is literally the dumbest administration of all time. Why is he talking?
It really is the ultimate clown show. And I said this in the 5. He's a clown without a...
For years, Tim Walz has been sold to America as the calm, ordinary neighbor. The guy who'd wave from his lawnmower, help move your couch, or bring potato salad to the church picnic. But Tyrus isn't buying it. He pokes at that image with a fork and says, "This doesn't taste like authenticity. It reeks of politics left out in the sun." That neighborly charm starts to look less like sincerity and more like a costume worn by someone desperate to play Mr. Regular Guy while quietly climbing the political ladder.
Feel bad for Elon. Mm-hmm. I would be furious if I was him. Mm-hmm. If this is who you sent to troll me?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing wrong to get the guy from D Team to come out at family theater and call me names.
Yeah.
Like, Tim, I would, if they were like, oh, Tyrus, man, tough news cycle. Tim Walz is talking about you. I'd be like, old Timmy, I want to fight him so bad.
That's when Tyrus lands the first real punch. Walz isn't a lovable small-town everyman. He's a politician who mastered the art of smiling while sliding policies under the door like hotel bills nobody agreed to pay. On paper, Walz's backstory reads like a Hallmark script. Teacher, football coach, veteran, champion of small-town values. But once in office, the script didn't match the performance. And Tyrus knows voters hate nothing more than that gap between words and actions. Walz's gaps, Tyrus says, are massive, wider than any Minnesota pothole in January. From pandemic lockdowns that kept churches closed but liquor stores open, to contradictions stacked higher than a kid's Pokemon card collection, Walz became less of a leader and more of a punchline.
My tweets, my DMs, like just one arm, and I just want to slap the. He's so weak. He brings nothing. If you were gonna go after someone, man to man, hit him with a fact. Hit him with something real.
Yes.
You don't have anything. And here's the cold part. If Elon called him up and said, "Hey Tim, you want a job?" he would take it, because that's what spineless. He would, and when he was questioned, he was like, "I was just holding him in account. You know, I respect him, and I'm so happy to be working for X." He is the worst player on their team, and they don't mind sending him out because
They're trying to get him off the table.
Yeah.
They're putting him out early so he can't be a factor later.
Flip-flopping? Walz practically invented it. 1 minute he's for something, the next he's against it, all depending on which way the wind blows. Tyrus doesn't just call it hypocrisy. He paints Walz as a circus acrobat auditioning for Cirque du Soleil with all the backflips he's pulled to stay politically comfortable. It's the political version of swearing you shop at Target while being chauffeured there in a black SUV worth more than a house. The disconnect is so wide. Tyrus jokes you could march the entire Minnesota Vikings offensive line through it.
Rachel Levine, look, he has a sports coat and a zip-up sweater underneath. No man wears that.
I may have done that in the past.
Yes.
I
You've
won't
done that
now,
many
Tyrus.
No, and one day somebody's going to explain what a corporate income tax is to these people. It's not paid by this. It's not paid by the corporation. It's not like a building that goes, I've got to pay taxes. It's the workers.
And here's where Tyrus goes deeper. Because politics today isn't just about policy, it's performance. Walz knows how to play the role, the tone, the gestures, the carefully rehearsed warmth. But to Tyrus, it's all smoke and mirrors. He compares it to watching a magician at a kid's birthday party. Everyone else gasps at the trick, but Tyrus is the guy in the back yelling, "Check his sleeve." From pandemic missteps to George Floyd protests, Walz's regular guy act crumbles. He wasn't decisive. He wasn't firm. Tyrus paints him standing in front of a raging fire with nothing but a garden hose, praying the flames burn out on their own.
You suck.
Yeah. It's like when people have their PhD on their Twitter handle. It's like, you know, this person's completely bonkers.
And their pronouns.
Yes. Are you mad, though, Tyrus, that, like, beards have been kind of co-opted by beta males like Tyler?
No, because
Watch what you say.
It's like all. Wait, hold on. Watch what I say. I will around, stick my hand up your back, and make you my puppet for the rest.
And that's where Tyrus leans all the way into sarcasm. He doesn't just say Walz failed, he turns it into slapstick. Walz is like your neighbor promising to fix a broken fence, only to show up with duct tape and a shrug. Every promise sounds noble, but the execution is a middle school group project where nobody remembered their part. Free this, expand that. Opportunities for all. It sounds like Minnesota is about to become a utopia of lakes, loons, and healthcare for goldfish. But in practice, it's chaos dressed up as policy.
I think I would have won. Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania easily anyway, even if the governor ran, the real governor, not the governor from Minnesota, he's a sick puppy, that guy. That poor guy, feels sorry for him. but they made a bad.
Tyrus hits his rhythm when he compares Walz's speeches to karaoke. You recognize the song, but by the second verse, he's mumbling, offbeat, and hoping nobody notices. Taxes? Walz brands himself a champion of working families, but those same families open their mail to find bigger bills. Schools? Once his strong suit, now they're sinking like a ship hitting icebergs. Test scores dropping, parents in revolt, classrooms in chaos. Tyrus makes it unforgettable with imagery. Walz rummaging through your couch cushions for change, bragging that he's funding the future, while Minnesota kids fall behind.
What do you make? Whoa, you got something there?
Hold on, before we do this, man, I got to protein up. Hold on.
Chug, 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 chug. Oh, he's chugging it.
I need more protein, Gusto. I got my protein pudding, my protein shakes, jerky if you piss me off, but this ain't enough protein for this segment, Greg. I gotta old school this story here.
Where'd you get that?
Law and Order? That's a comedy series in itself. Walz talks justice, fairness, reform. But when chaos hits the streets, his response looks more like a Black Friday stampede at Walmart. And when questioned, he flashes his military service as a badge of instant credibility, like pulling out baby pictures during an argument. Tyrus mocks it as political shapeshifting, a mood ring politician who mirrors whatever people feel in the moment without ever standing firm himself.
I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, you see what I did there? I gotta tell you, pointing out just an observation of mine that I made. I just have to say it. You know it, you feel it. These guys are creepy, and yes, just...
And then comes the comedy gold. Tyrus paints Walz as the guy rehearsing empathy in the mirror before press conferences. Tilt the head 30 degrees, maybe 45? Does this look like I care? It's exaggerated, but once you picture it, you can't unsee it. Walz talks unity, but under his leadership, Minnesota is about as unified as a family Monopoly game. Boards flipped, rules argued, people storming out. Tyrus nails the sting. Walz isn't a genuine everyman. He's a polished product, a packaged image, a used car salesman in plaid, hoping the folksy charm hides the dents in the vehicle.
Former VP nominee Tim Walz, he joined Beto O'Rourke at a Texas town hall last night, and the estrogen levels were enough to give Chuck Norris menstrual cramps. I wonder, is our strength our diversity?
Our strength is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants, and we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI, and we let them define what woke is. We got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, you damn right we're proud of these policies. We're going to put them in, and we're going to execute them.
So, wait, you lost because you weren't woke enough?
And by the end, Tyrus rips off the packaging completely. What's left isn't Minnesota nice. It's politics as usual, just dressed in flannel. The audience doesn't just laugh, they nod, because the pattern is undeniable. Contradictions stacked sky high, promises that collapse in execution. A governor who looks more like a stage prop than a leader. By now, Walz isn't just exposed, he's transformed into a symbol. A reminder of every politician who says one thing, does another, and expects applause for the performance. Tyrus sums it up with one unforgettable metaphor. Walz running Minnesota like a guy assembling IKEA furniture without the manual. The screws don't fit, the pieces wobble, and the whole thing falls apart the moment you lean on it. But there he is, Allen wrench in hand, insisting everything is under control. And that's when the audience realizes, this wasn't just a roast. It was a total unmasking.